Hello, this is the final week that we're looking at prophets. Last week we looked at Isaiah. Today we're looking about a man prophet called Ezekiel. Now, like Isaiah, there's a book in the Bible called Ezekiel. It's in the Old Testament part. It's all about how he became a prophet and the many visions and prophecies that he received from God. Ezekiel was a priest in the temple in Jerusalem. Now, the king of Babylon, with his army, took over Jerusalem, and they took many of the people back with them to Babylon, including Ezekiel. That was far, far, far away from their home. They were in exile. That means that they couldn't live in their own country. So Ezekiel then lived in exile in Babylon. Now, it was there that he had a vision of God and was called to be a prophet. Many people still didn't follow and obey God, and Ezekiel was chosen by him to warn them not to turn away from him. "Warn my people to listen and obey me," he said. Now, Ezekiel passed on many messages from God, and after many years in exile, one of his visions was about bones. Ezekiel saw himself in a valley of dry human bones. God told him to speak to the bones. As he did, the bones started to form together to form skeletons. They connected to each other. As Ezekiel continued to prophesy, they became human figures. And then they stood up and were breathing. God told Ezekiel to explain to the people in exile that at the moment they were like the dry bones. They were not connected to each other, and they couldn't do things. They couldn't see people, and they'd lost hope. They didn't think they had a future. But soon God would raise them up, like he did the dry bones, and they would become full of life again. So it's raised up, and they would be full of life. And that he would return them to their homes in and around Jerusalem. Now, eventually, the people did return to their home, as well as Ezekiel. He continued to do God's work in the temple in Jerusalem. Now, at the moment, we're not able to see each other, but we're not in exile. All right, there are so many things we can't do and people that we can't see, and that can get us down a little bit and make us feel sad. But we know that Jesus can help us at all times. We do have hope, and we do have a future because of him. Okay. Now, you should have had the booklets. If you've got them all still together, you should have 5 all together, and you could glue along the edges here and stick them together to form a book. So maybe you've got 5. I've only got 2 here, but if you've got the 5, maybe you could stick them all together. If not, don't worry. Okay. Now on YouTube, There's also some songs that you might find on there about a song called Dem Bones, dem meaning them. It's just a slang bit of vocabulary. So it's called Dem Bones. All right, there's lots of videos, but if you do watch some of them, look out for the ones about Clovercraft kids and the Cedar Mont kids as well. So have a bit of fun. There's a smiley face from me. I'll see you again next week. Bye.